Hello, and welcome to the College Tracker Show, where we connect Canadian high school students and athletes to top U.S. colleges and universities at no cost to them and their families. I'm Kimberly Bass, I'm your host, and I am delighted to introduce you to our guests from four schools today. That'll be Jackson State College, Wayne State University, ALMA College, and Gonzaga University. All of these schools have something unique to offer, whether you're interested in competing at a higher level in athletics, pursuing a particular major, or just simply finding a competitive or supportive community that will help you achieve your goals. Today, we won't have time to do live Q&A, but if you have questions, you can pop them in chat if you're on Zoom with us, or if you're on one of the live stream channels, you can pop it in chat. It'll come to us and we'll make sure it gets to the representative for each school, and each representative from schools will be sharing their contact information. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn. Our first school up today is going to be Jackson College, and Jamie Morris is going to be talking to us. Jamie, you out there?
I am. Thank you so much, Kimberly. It's been so much fun having this opportunity to speak to all of the amazing Canadian high school students. Absolutely love Canada. I had the opportunity to visit a little bit of Canada this past winter. I got to go up to the Ice Hotel, so super fun opportunity. But I do want to spend time talking about Jackson College and what we have to offer. I'm going to share the screen here to do a presentation, and I hope you all enjoy. Feel free to ask any questions that you may have, and we'll go from there. So we are Jackson College. We're located in Jackson, Michigan. Jackson's a little bit of a rural institution. We're surrounded by a lot of green space, but what's also super cool about Jackson is that we are 40 minutes from Ann Arbor, so University of Michigan. We're 40 minutes from MSU. We're about 3 hours away from Chicago and about an hour away from Detroit. So we're a little bit of the center of it all in the state of Michigan. We offer over 60 academic programs, including language training, and we've had international students from over 20 countries. So we are technically a community college, and so one of the cool things about attending a community college before transferring to a university is it can be a really affordable option. You can earn both an associate degree and a bachelor's degree while you are attending a community college. And typically that gets you both degrees for just about the cost of one degree at all. So you can experience two types of living, a little bit more freedom and changing your mind with your major, lots of transfer credit scholarships, and additional work opportunities through the OPT program at the associate degree level. So there's a lot of really cool benefits of starting at a community college. One of the major key benefits is actually athletics at Jackson College. So I'm going to touch on that here in a couple of screens.
Jamie, we want to hear and see everything about Jackson College. We are not seeing your presentation right now.
Oh my goodness, I'm sharing my screen. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kimberly. So I'll kind of pop back to that slide, that benefit slide, and I can absolutely share this presentation with Kimberly too, if anybody would like to see it before. So this is our Burt Walker Hall. That's actually the building I'm sitting in right now, our student services building. So admission into a community college, we have absolutely no cost to apply. We have fairly low language scores overall. For Canadian students, that really doesn't become much of an issue unless maybe you are from Quebec, which is a totally cool place, but we do expect some language scores from there if you are a native French speaker. So again, like I said, we do offer language training programs here at Jackson College, which can be very helpful too for anyone who may be a second language learner. Resources, we have a lot of really great resources available, especially at a community college level, including an Oasis Center, which is our mental health clinic, Center for Student Success, where you get free tutoring, all the like free support you could need. We have a health clinic on campus, as well as a dental clinic, our library, of course. You get to work with me, your International Student Institute coordinator, who will, I pretty much do everything for all of the international students. So I'm your go-to person all the time. And as well as our great campus programs. Jumping over to our student life. So even though we are small, we are mighty. With student life, we have global student organization. We have lots of program specific organizations and lots of different things within sports. So I've mentioned softball, baseball, basketball, volleyball, cross country, soccer, bowling, golf. So we offer a lot of different sporting opportunities for high school students to progress forward in their athletics at the college level. I really wanted to, though, highlight, like I said, our baseball and softball teams. And the reason I want to highlight them is because they are they're just pretty darn good, really. Currently, our Lady Jets have just reached 30 wins for the 6th year in a row. We have a Canadian pitcher on our team, which I love to talk about. They've qualified for the regionals again this year, and they hope to go to nationals, which they did last year as well. On our guys' side, definitely a really major force for our baseball team. We've had lots of Canadian baseball players. We are currently looking for some pitchers who can throw around 85 miles an hour. So currently our guys are sitting in first place. They need 2 wins in the next 4 games to win the conference and to move on towards regionals. Last year alone, they had 14 players move on to 4-year schools with scholarships. And within, since 2006, we've had 3 Jackson College players actually join. Well, we have Tampa Bay, the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Pittsburgh Pirates. So I think we have a pretty tremendous baseball and softball programs. And a great way to get in touch with those coaches is through that Recruit Me link, which I can always, of course, put in the chat as well. Okay. Let's see. So transferring from a community college is super easy. We have lots of programs available with different institutions. We work with what's called an MTA agreement. So any school within Michigan, of course, but we have students who transfer outside of Michigan as well. And we have people who will help you learn how to do that. So maybe you're a little hesitant, maybe your scores aren't exactly where you want them to be to get into that top university, or maybe you just simply like want to start a little smaller or want to start a little cheaper and get those 2 degrees for the cost of 1. That associate degree and then transferring to a university is a really great way to do it. Where can you go? So this screen actually highlights the top schools that some of our international students have transferred to. So I'm very proud, of course, of all of our international students. I could think of a story for each of these schools listed. We had a student go full ride Ross School of Business to Wisconsin-Madison, so University of Wisconsin-Madison, Andrews University, Western Michigan University, the Ohio State University, and University of Kentucky. So that always is something that makes us proud to be able to say that we've had such tremendous students have these opportunities. And these just highlight a few, there's plenty of others. I wanted to highlight this particular student for all of you. His name is Tin Nguyen. Just this past weekend, he graduated from Western Michigan University, dual majoring in aviation flight science. The reason that this young man is pretty important to us is, one, to get a degree in aviation and to be from Vietnam is huge. But the coolest part about his story is once he completed his degree at Western, he is now working on his degree in Canada with all of you. So I think that's just kind of a neat story that that someone may come from Vietnam, go to Jackson, go to Western, and then, even move on to earn a third degree in another country altogether. And especially to earn a degree. He's currently living in Toronto, Canada. So this is our resource page. There's lots of different resources here on this page, from student life, transfer, athletics. One of the things I didn't mention in the presentation, we have housing on campus. So again, very big deal to have housing at a community college level. You don't have to live in the housing, but I highly recommend it. Beautiful, spacious areas. So I think Kimberly said that we won't necessarily have a lot of time for live Q&A, but if you have some questions that you want to throw in the chat, I'd be happy to respond to those.
Thank you so much, Jamie. I knew you do have a few more minutes, and we did have a question since we have just a couple more minutes. We had a question about baseball. Want to know about commitment level and how to connect with coaches. And that's a question from Tony.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would, Kimberly, okay, there it is. I'm going to go ahead and Tony, I'm going to throw the Recruit Me into this chat for you, and we can get in touch on that. And if you ever want to just get connected directly to our coach, his name is Rick. In fact, I was talking to him this morning. He absolutely loves Canada. Like, he was super excited about this presentation. I was like, what are you looking for? And he's like, I need some guys who are throwing, some big arms, 85 miles an hour kind of thing. And so I would say, as far as, the commitment level from players, it's a pretty serious business, knowing that we have students who are 14 students moving on with scholarships to four-year universities. And we have guys who are, getting picked up by major league teams. But it's a really great place to grow and to have that one-on-one attention from such a tremendous and experienced coach like Rick. So I'll go ahead and I'll throw that into the chat for you, Tony, right after this conversation, that Recruit Me link, okay?
Sounds good, Jamie. We'll make sure that he gets it. And thank you again for stopping by and talking to us about Jackson College. There you have it. If you're a baseball player and you're throwing 85 miles per hour, Jackson College is maybe the school you want to look into. Let's now pop over to our next school. Today, we are going to be hearing from Jessica Hoffmeyer. She's going to tell us about all the wonderful things going on over at Wayne State University. Hey, Jessica.
Hello, Kimberly. How are you?
Outstanding. I'm going to hand it over to you now.
Wonderful. Let me just get my screen shared here. 1 second. All right. Can you all see my screen?
Not as of yet.
Nope. Okay. One
more time.
Okay.
And there it is. We can see it now.
Great. Okay. Excellent. So thank you everybody for joining today. I am, as Kimberly said, Jessica Hoffmeyer, and I am from Wayne State University in Detroit, Michigan. And I am the project coordinator for the Office of International Programs, which means half my job is recruiting Canadian students, and I absolutely love it. So a little bit about Wayne State. If I can get the slide, there we go. So we're going to go through a couple of points here. We're going to talk about why Wayne State. We'll go over some of our academic programs, a little bit about the admissions process. Then we'll touch on what everybody is really wanting to know, and that would be scholarships. And then if there is time for a couple questions, I'm happy to answer those. So why Wayne State, right? So we are located, like I said, in the heart of Midtown Detroit. in Michigan. And we are probably about 10 minutes away from the Detroit-Windsor tunnel that goes under the Detroit River. We are a nationally ranked Research One institution, and we are the only urban research university in the state of Michigan. We're home to about 25,000 students in total. And in that 25,000, we've got about 1,300 international students from 80 different countries that are represented. So that makes us Michigan's most diverse campus. I myself attended Wayne State as an undergraduate, and now I'm working full-time at Wayne State. I've been here about 8 years in total. And I think that's a testament to how great of a school Wayne State really is, great enough that I didn't want to leave. And we're also located in a very strategic location. We are neighbors with world-class hospital systems and museums and law firms. And that really, and obviously the auto industry as well. And that really puts us at an advantage, and especially our students. It really gives them the option to have this real world experience with these huge companies like Ford and GM and Bosch. And oftentimes these companies will look to Wayne State students first for their internships as well. And sometimes those internships can even turn into full-time employment once you graduate. So we are also located within what's known as Detroit's cultural district. So anybody who may have visited Detroit, or if you've at least heard about Detroit, you may know that we have an incredible art museum. It's called the Detroit Institute of Arts. And that's only one of several museums that we are neighbors with. There's also the African American Museum, MOCAD, as we call it. There's the Detroit Historical Museum, all steps away. And then we also have really pretty great campus housing options too. So you get to live in the middle of the city, in this big city, right? Steps away from all this culture and history and incredible restaurants. So we have 7 different residence halls. Oh, sorry. We have 7 different residence halls. So plenty of options. Most of them will come with, well, all of them will come with wireless internet, laundry, workout facilities. What most people don't often think about when they're looking at campus housing options is we have only private restrooms in our residence halls. We don't have any communal restrooms. And I promise once you have that thought in your mind, it'll change how you look at campus housing options. I highly, highly recommend living on campus, although you do not have to. The Midtown neighborhood that we're located in has tons of options, really, some historic buildings, and it's a really good way, though, living on campus to meet people and be engaged. And then some of our friends from Windsor, if anyone on here is from Windsor, you can still commute too, which makes Wayne State great because you have the option of getting an international education with potentially still living at home, right? And that's pretty unique. Not everywhere will have that option. Moving on, we've got about 400 different student organizations. So there's plenty of ways to be involved, and it's really easy to start your own as well. One of the examples I always give, we have a squirrel watching club. So there's anything from the squirrel watching club to fraternities and sororities to, like biology, women in biology, student organizations. So really all across the board. And then we also have 18 Division II athletic teams. I know that this is something that many people are often interested in, and I'm happy to, if you want to send me an email, and I will have my contact information at the end of the slideshow, I'm happy to connect you with the coaches and those who can answer your questions more concretely when it comes to our athletics. And those of you who are close, I'd highly encourage you to come take a campus tour of Wayne State. Come get lunch in Midtown, explore the area, make a day of it. But for those of you that are a little farther, we have a virtual option as well. So if you head to wayne.edu/tour, you can click around with your mouse and see campus and see pictures of inside the buildings. So it's a really cool thing that came out of COVID. Moving on, we've got 13 different schools and colleges, and we've got, I think we're over now 350 different programs, and that's going to be undergraduate and graduate. So our top destinations for our international students tend to be our Mike Ilitch School of Business, as well as our College of Engineering. Both programs are highly sought after, I will say. Our Mike Ilitch School of Business, those of you, again, in Windsor or even just in Ontario in general, might recognize the name Mike Ilitch. He's the owner, of both the Detroit Red Wings, Little Caesars Pizza. Well, he donated a very large sum of money, and we built a brand new shiny business school in his honor right in downtown Detroit. It's really, really beautiful facilities. And then our College of Engineering, again, I mentioned this previously, but oftentimes this industry that we're surrounded by, they will look to our especially our engineering students first for internships. And those are really unique experiences that are very, special to Detroit. And then we've also got, you can read them all too here, so I won't go over them, but we've got a law school, School of Medicine, and we are actually one of the few institutions that accept international students into our School of Medicine. The only stipulation is that you have to have your bachelor's degree from Wayne State first. So undergraduate admissions, what you will do is you'll head to wayne.edu/apply. If you're applying for fall of 2023, which I would do that soon, if you intend on starting in the fall, you can use the application fee waiver code OIP 2023, and that'll waive the $25 application fee for you. You'll need to submit an official high school transcript. We are test optional, so if you've taken the ACT or SAT, awesome. If not, you don't have to. So what you can do instead is submit the test optional documents, we call them, which will include 2 essays, 2 letters of recommendation, either from a coach or a teacher or a director, anyone like that, and a list of the activities that you've participated in. For maximum scholarship consideration, we highly recommend applying as soon as possible, but for those of you that are looking to start in fall of 2024, so August of next year, try to get your applications in by December 1. That will give you maximum consideration for scholarships. And as soon as you apply for Wayne State as an undergrad, you're automatically considered for those scholarships. And that will range from anywhere from $500 to $6,000 per year. And then this link here, wayne.edu/admissions/Canadian, will really dive into more Canada-specific information. It's a great resource. Something else that we do, it's called the Great Lakes Tuition Award. So anybody residing in Ontario specifically, you are eligible for in-state tuition. So any state bordering a Great Lake gets this in-state tuition rate. For our friends elsewhere in Vancouver, Montreal, we have for you instead a housing scholarship that you are eligible for. And I'm happy to go into more detail if you want to reach out after the fact. I know we're getting a little close on time. And then again, these are the merit-based scholarships that I mentioned. And you can You don't have to apply by December 1st to receive these, but we highly, highly, highly encourage it. And again, another link, wayne.edu/scholarships to find out more information on that. For our graduate admissions, it looks a little different. You'll need a course-by-course evaluation. You'll have to have a 4-year bachelor's degree. And then it'll depend as well from department to department, whether you will need to submit some sort of test score. But again, if you want to send me an email, I'm happy to dive into that more so. And then for graduate scholarships and funding opportunities will be given out by the individual departments for the most part. And similar to the Great Lakes Tuition Award, we offer the Good Neighbor tuition waiver. So that's all I have. My name is Jessica, but the email that will get you to me the fastest is fw2302@wayne.edu. It's a lot easier than jessica.hoffmeyer@wayne.edu. But feel free to email me. I am here to answer any questions. We can set up a one-on-one, a Zoom meeting. Our office is also on social media. So if you'd like to see what we're up to, see what some of our other international students are up to, that's a great spot for that. And I think we might have time for a question or two if anybody has any.
We don't have any specific questions other than there is a question about your baseball program. I'll send that over to you. Don't know if you can answer that live on screen, but thank you again, Jessica, for coming and telling us about all the greatness of Wayne State. Who better to hear from than an alumni? If you're looking for various internship opportunities, if you're looking for an opportunity to tour the campus in person or even virtual, be sure to reach out to Jessica. Thank you again for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Up next, we are going to hear all about ALMA College, and we are going to hear about it from Hank Wickley. Hey, Hank.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Absolutely. Now we want to hear
Okay.
all about ALMA College.
Awesome. Well, I am going to share my screen. Are you seeing my
Yes,
presentation? Great. So, hi everyone. My name is Hank Wickley. I serve as the Assistant Director of Admissions at ALMA College. I'm also a proud ALMA graduate. I graduated with the class of 2020. I am super excited to tell you all about ALMA. I have a slideshow. I'm not going to be able to get to every single slide on here, but we're going to do our best to tell you a little bit about ALMA. First and foremost, ALMA College is located in Alma, Michigan. If you hold up your handy dandy map of Michigan, we are right in the center of the state, truly right in the middle. Very cute town of Alma, Michigan, about 10,000 people, very fun little college town in downtown area. At Alma, we have right around 1,400 students on our campus, 40 or 50 international students, and we're really looking to increase that number. Our average class size is 18 students, and we have a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. All those numbers mean really are that at ALMA, your professors are going to know your name and they're going to know who you are. They're going to know if you're on a sports team or if you have to miss class for an away game or anything like that. It's really nice to have that support and be able to get the help that you need in and out of the classroom from your professors. We also have a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio, like I just mentioned. So our professors are really engaging with the students. They are there at your graduation. They give you that big hug, and they're there to be references and resources for after you graduate as well. So at ALMA, we have over 50 different academic programs to choose from. And we have a really cool thing called a program of emphasis where you actually get to build your own major. So if there's something on the list or there's something that you want that isn't on the list of majors that we offer, you can build that program of emphasis, work with professors to really create the program that works for you to get into the career that you're interested in. Some of our more popular academic programs include nursing, business, education, and anything in the health field. We do have a cadaver lab on our campus, and we have a really, really good relationship with the hospital in town. And that allows our students to get a lot of really big hands-on experience. At ALMA, we are all about getting you out of the classroom. I don't know about you guys. I never liked sitting in the classroom and reading about it. I have always believed that you're never going to know if you want to be a doctor until you go out and be a doctor or be a teacher or be an engineer. And that's what we're all about at ALMA. Whether it is an internship, a research opportunity, some sort of class that travels and takes you out into the real world, that is what we are all about. I know you are all international, technically international students coming from Canada, but if you're ever interested in traveling, you have a shared interest with many, many ALMA students. Our folks are going all over the world. We have really strong partnerships with students or with universities all across the globe, especially in Scotland. We are the ALMA College Scots, and so they are pretty welcoming of our students over there. We do have a pretty unique academic calendar, and we're in a very unique time of year right now on our campus. We have 4-month semesters. So our school year starts in August, goes until December, and then our second semester starts in January and goes until kind of the middle or end of April. And then the school year actually ends. From there, we have our 1-month spring term. So when you see on the slide that 441, we are in that one, that spring term. And so spring term is a 1-month, 4-week class. During that time, you only take one class, and you take that class every day. So it's kind of like a mini semester that's jam-packed with a bunch of really fun information. Those spring terms are very unique. The professors get to kind of let their hair down a little bit and teach some more unique things. There's an art class, and they're painting a mural in downtown Alma right now as we speak. I personally took a class where we watched a different science fiction movie every day. It was like the coolest class ever. And then there are a lot of spring terms that travel. So for example, our choir is touring all throughout Scotland right now. I know that I was just emailing a professor yesterday, and she replied and said, sorry, we'll have to talk in June. I'm in New Zealand with my class right now teaching. There's a class that goes to Ecuador and does research in the rainforest. A class that goes to Greece to study Greek mythology. So lots of really cool opportunities for you to spend the month of May traveling and doing different things. I do want to tell you all about our ALMA commitment, because this is a really big part of kind of our promise to our students. College is a huge investment and a big investment of your time, and you have to know that it's going to be worthwhile. And so we promise these things for you. First, you'll have an academic advisor. Every student at ALMA College has an advisor, that professor who is a professor. And that person stays with you from the time that you get to campus until the time that you graduate. And that advisor is there to help you schedule your classes, stay on track in your major, change your major if you decide to change your mind, and really do all the things along the way to help you graduate on time and get out into the world. I still talk with my advisor pretty frequently, where we follow each other on Instagram and keep in touch that way. And it's a really cool relationship that you build there. The second part of the commitment is our 4-year on-time graduation guarantee. So if our students are coming to ALMA and graduating in 4 years, if you need more time than that, we actually pay your tuition for an extra term if you need it. So if you need 4.5 years, we're willing to put our money where our mouth is and help you pay for that extra time. And then the third part of the commitment, and this is, in my opinion, the coolest thing, is your ALMA venture. Every student gets what's called the ALMA College Venture Grant during their 3rd year at ALMA College. And so during that 3rd year, you meet with your academic advisor and you say, here's what I want to use my venture grant for. And the venture grant is $2,500 that you get to pay for an experience. So you can't go out and buy a new laptop with it or something like that, but you can use that to pay for your flights or your hotels or your research costs or any travel costs or housing accommodations, wherever it is that you're going. If you're going to go do that summer internship in another state or in another country, you can use that grant to pay for your housing during that time. Or if you're taking one of those classes that travels, maybe you're interested in marine biology and you want to scuba dive in Hawaii, there's a spring term class that does that, and that venture grant can help you pay for those extra costs of your hotels and your travel. So I know we've talked a little bit about athletics today. I was a student athlete at ALMA College. We are NCAA Division III. It is a ton of fun. We have 32 different teams on our campus. Very, very competitive. You get that NCAA student athlete experience. And to answer the question that I saw in the chat earlier about level of commitment and those type of things, it is the real deal. I mean, you're traveling on the buses with the team and staying in hotels, and you're a college athlete. I loved my experience on the lacrosse team. I actually had a Canadian teammate, and he just graduated, so very excited to see him go off into the world. Our athletic conference is the Michigan Intercollegiate Athletic Association. It is the oldest athletic conference in our country, so we have been playing against our rival for like 130 years, which is really exciting. If the varsity athletics scene is not what you're interested in, we do also have club and intramural sports. So students have the opportunities to make that intramural floor hockey team or that intramural softball team or something like that. And those are a lot of fun to get involved with as well. If your interest and your passion lies more on the stage, we have that as well. Our performing arts are a huge part of our campus culture at ALMA. Whether it's theater, choir, band, orchestra, dance, and then our Highland arts. We are the ALMA College Scots, and so we love our Scottish heritage. If any of you play the bagpipes or Highland dance or do any Scottish Highland drumming, we give really cool scholarships, and there's a bunch of opportunities for you to continue to do those things while you're a student here. You will always, pretty often, hear bagpipes on our campus. I know our football team walks out onto the field with a bagpiper, and it's a big part of kind of the culture here. And then this is the last slide that I will show you. Just to kind of tell you a little bit about living on campus and eating on campus. Those are some really important things. We are a residential campus, so we provide housing for our students for all 4 years if they need it. You have a couple of different buildings that students get to choose from for their first year and their second year. And then once you become a third or fourth year student, you get to choose between houses, apartments, suites, whether they're right on campus or in our downtown. We have lots of different options for our students. We also have over 100 different student organizations. We also have a squirrel watching club. We love to see them running around campus, and different ways for students to get involved, no matter what it might be, whether it's an academically focused club. We have a bunch of clubs that focus on mental health, whatever it might be. Food is really important. That was a really big part of my college decision. I'll be totally honest with you all. I had to know that there was good food in the town and on the campus. One of the unique things about ALMA is that every student gets a meal plan, and it's on your student ID card. And that meal plan can be used both on and off campus. So on campus, obviously at the dining hall, Hamilton Commons, we have a dining cart in our science building, and we're building a Qdoba, which is kind of like a Chipotle, right on our campus. It's actually going to open like in the next 2 weeks. We're really excited about that. Your meal plan also works downtown. So if you take that 5 to 10 minute walk into downtown ALMA, Starbucks, there's a great pizza place, there's a great Mexican restaurant. We have kind of a sports bar that you can use that munch money at. Jimmy John's, there's a couple coffee shops, different places where you can just go and use your student ID card to pay for your meals. Really, really cool options and a lot of good things to keep in mind. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that we can talk a little bit more about the admissions requirements in the admissions process to apply to ALMA and to come to ALMA. First, our application is completely free. We are on the common application or the application right on our website. Both are totally fine. To be honest with you, the only difference between the two, one is blue, one isn't. So they're very, very similar. They ask you the same questions and they have the same requirements. Our application opens on August 1st of your final year of high school. So this August is when it'll open back up for next year. It is still open if you're looking to come to ALMA this coming fall. The application is still open. We have rolling admissions, so there is no deadline for when to apply. We do have a scholarship called Early Action. So if you apply early in the fall, anywhere from August to November, we give an extra scholarship for that, just for being early and on top of everything. The requirements to be admitted to ALMA are obviously your application, your transcript from your school. We ask for a minimum of a 2.5 GPA. So if you have a 2.5 and above, you're pretty much good to go. We do also require a test score. So whether that is your SAT, ACT, TOEFL, whatever it is, we accept all those different test scores. Once you apply and get us your materials, your admissions counselor will get in contact with you within 2 weeks. We have a very quick turnaround on applications because we want you to know, and we want you to know that you've been accepted so that you can make a really informed decision. From there, you'll also receive scholarships at ALMA. So we have merit-based scholarships that are based on your GPA that every student gets automatically just for applying and getting accepted. Those range from $23,000 to $32,000 per year. So they're really big, and they cut your total cost down quite a bit right off the bat. From there, like I mentioned, we have that early action scholarship. We have scholarships for performing arts. We have scholarships for if you are a legacy and have a family member who has come to ALMA, for visiting campus. We do have some need-based scholarships as well. So we try to make it as competitive as possible and as affordable as possible for all students. I think that is all the information I had. I did want to, if I have a minute or two, just kind of share my screen really, really quickly again to show you our athletics website so that you can see what's going on there. So if you were interested in coming to play for ALMA College or getting connected with our coaches for any sport, you'll go to alma.edu and you'll click on athletics. And then there's a nice form right here called Play for ALMA. If you click that, you fill in your information and it'll go right to our coach's email where they'll be able to get in contact with you from there. I know we're a little bit close to the time, but are there any questions about anything?
Thanks so much, Hank. Now, if you can answer this question or not, but do you have any insight into the baseball program specifically about what the commitment is, what's being sought in that program?
Yeah, absolutely. So our baseball team is having a really great year right now. We have a guy on the team who's about to graduate, and he just broke a record for, I think, home runs in a season. So he has been playing really well. The team has been playing well. Our head coach is an ALMA College alum. So he graduated from ALMA and went off for a couple of years and decided to come back and be the head coach. And it has been awesome to see. They did just play a game at Comerica Park where the Detroit Tigers play. So that was really cool to see our team, under the big lights and playing with them. They're having a lot of success right now. We are getting ready to build a new indoor athletic facility. So obviously with the winter and baseball season starts kind of in January, they haven't been able to practice outside because of the snow. We're starting this summer building a new indoor field house where baseball, softball, men's and women's lacrosse, all these sports will be able to play and practice. So it'll give a nice opportunity to get some more work done earlier in the year.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Hank. If you're looking for a university where the professors know your name, where you have the opportunity to get outside the classroom and have that hands-on approach, or even if you're looking to become alumni like Hank, definitely reach out to him to get more information on ALMA College. And Hank, we have a little bit of free time. If you don't mind, do you mind if I ask you did mention that good food was a factor in you choosing ALMA. What else just really stands out about your school that makes you feel like it's a really good choice?
Well, I came to ALMA. I grew up in California on the West Coast, and I came to ALMA for a couple different reasons. One, obviously the food, like I mentioned, but also out of all of the schools that I visited and toured and met with coaches at, ALMA was the only place where it felt like I wasn't just a number. and they really truly wanted me to be here, and wanted me to get these experiences and wanted me to be a part of this awesome thing that's happening. I got to meet the president of the college on my tour. I got to go out to lunch with my coach. I got to meet with a professor in an area that I was interested in. So those type of things really made a difference for me. I fell in love with the small town and the small campus feel. I liked that I wouldn't have had to like drive or take a bus to get to class. And I liked that, you know, the professor that I actually met with when I first visited campus ended up becoming my advisor. So we really got to build a strong relationship. I liked all the different opportunities. I didn't want to go to a school where I was just going to be there for 4 years and then that was it. I wanted to have the opportunity to go out and do different things. I got to take a really cool spring term class where we actually went down south and went to Disney World. And I got to take classes in Disney with those Disney professionals on leadership and collaboration and creativity. And so just some really cool opportunities that I just fell in love with.
Thank you so much, Hank. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing what seems to be like quite adventure at ALMA College. We're glad to have you join us today and have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
All right, we are going to round it off with our final school, and our final school is going to be Gonzaga University. And here to share with us all the greatness that is Gonzaga, we have Teresa Howlett. Hey, Teresa.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. If you give me just a moment, I'm going to pull up a presentation and go through a couple slides, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
There we go. We see your presentation coming up.
Fantastic.
We see it.
Can I just put it in presentation mode? Can you see the full screen version now?
We can, yes.
Okay, terrific. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having us. My name is Teresa Howlett, and I work at Gonzaga University, which is located in Spokane, Washington. I am our international admission counselor, so I work with all students in Canada and around the world. And just to give you a little brief introduction about Gonzaga, we are a private liberal arts Catholic university in the Jesuit tradition. Jesuit education is world-renowned for providing holistic development, mind, body, and spirit. And at Gonzaga, we focus on a concept of cura personalis, which is the Latin term for care of the whole person. We are a top 21 nationally ranked university that educates students from many different faiths and backgrounds for lives of leadership and service for the common good. We're located just across the Spokane River from downtown Spokane, about a 10 to 15 minute walk, and we're kind of adjacent to downtown. So we're about a 10 to 15 minute walk on a trail that's called the Centennial Trail. And you can see downtown Spokane in this image in the slide here. So campus is kind of in the foreground. That's College Hall, that big long building in the front. The little bit of water you can see in the picture is the Spokane River, and then just across from that is the city of Spokane. So it's a really beautiful place to be, especially this time of year in the spring. The trees are just starting to pop and everything is starting to look really green, like you can see in the picture. The proximity of campus to downtown is great for internships, shopping, restaurants, and other activities. Students have access to the city bus system that's included with their tuition. And there are just kind of always things going on around town and on campus. We are a medium-sized university with about 5,000 undergraduate students who come from almost all 50 states and about 40 countries. About half of our population is Catholic, and the other half are other Christian denominations, as well as other religions and people with no religious background. We have students from about 24 different faith backgrounds, and our staff and faculty mirror this religious diversity. In academics, there's an emphasis on interdisciplinary and hands-on experiences such as internships, research, and field work, with an average class size of 23, a student to faculty ratio of 11:1, and faculty teaching courses and labs were able to offer really personalized attention and advising. In fact, we're ranked in the top 5% nationally for best undergraduate teaching. So our faculty tend to be very, very accessible to students. Students tend to develop relationships with them that often can carry on beyond graduation. And we also have happy students with 93% continuing after their first year, most years, and successful graduates with 96% either working in graduate school or doing full-time service work within about 6 months of graduation. We offer over 75 academic programs, undergraduate academic programs in 5 colleges. We do offer graduate programs as well that we're happy to talk to people about if they're interested in those. The College of Arts and Sciences is at the undergraduate level. I'll talk a little bit about the 5 colleges we have. So we have the College of Arts and Sciences, which is our largest college. It has programs ranging from applied mathematics to writing, art, history, biology, biochemistry, lots of different options there. And it's where a majority of our core curriculum classes kind of live, starting with first year seminar. We also offer great preparation for students who are interested in pre-law, pre-medicine, and other health sciences. We have a partnership with the University of Washington School of Medicine to educate first and second year medical students on our campus, with Gonzaga delivering coursework, University of Washington managing clinical placements. And we also have our own School of Law, as well as a pre-law track for undergraduate students who are interested in moving into a law program after their undergraduate studies. About 63% of our student body studies abroad, and we have a second campus in Florence, Italy. That's one of our flagships. It is our flagship study abroad program, but there are lots and lots of other options around the world as well. Additionally, we offer a fully accredited School of Business Administration, which offers 2 accelerated master's degree options. So essentially students could come and stay at Gonzaga for 5 years, leave with a bachelor's degree, and then either a Master of Business Administration or a Master of Accountancy. We also offer an excellent School of Education, a School of Engineering and Applied Science, and then a School of Nursing and Human Physiology as well. One thing to note about our School of Nursing is that it is only first year applicants are eligible. So that would be only students coming directly out of high school. It's a really small program, and so unfortunately, we're not able to accommodate transfer applicants to our nursing program. About 82% of our students come from over 200 miles away. And while Gonzaga offers great academic challenges, we do that with a lot of support and opportunities for students to grow and share their gifts outside of the classroom. We offer over 140 different clubs and organizations, strong residence hall communities where our first and second year students live, and housing is guaranteed for the first 2 years. Students are required to live on campus for the first 2 years as well. Additionally, there are speakers, dances, cultural festivals, service and advocacy, very active intramural club and Division I athletics, and many optional retreats and spiritual opportunities as well. And I'll talk a little bit more about athletics in a little bit. Our Unity Multicultural Education Center and our Lincoln LGBTQ+ Resource Centers are here to ensure that whoever you are, however you identify, you feel heard, supported, and celebrated at Gonzaga. Our Center for Student Academic Success includes our Disability Access Office for students with learning differences and free tutoring in about 20 different subject areas. And then our Gonzaga Outdoors Club runs the ski and bike shop. They rent equipment to students for all sorts of outdoor excursions. And so if you're interested in getting involved in some kind of outdoor activity, it can be a great way to kind of explore that interest, but also to meet students from across campus with a wide range of interests. And then looking at sports, we are an NCAA Division I school. And you can see a list of our Division I sports on the left. If you are interested in playing on one of our Division I teams, what I would recommend is go to one of our, I would recommend that you go to our athletics website. It is www.gozags.com. There's a prospect questionnaire that you can access from that website for most of our Division I sports. And so if you're interested, what we generally recommend is go ahead and fill out that prospect questionnaire. That gets your information over to our athletics office and to our individual coaches, and then they'll be able to take it from there. We also offer club sports and intramural sport options. So a lot of times I get questions about like, well, what's the difference between club sports and intramural sports? I would say club sports, intramural sports, I would say tend to be a little bit more recreational, whereas club sports are a little bit more competitive. So if you're interested in continuing to play competitively, but you don't want to be on a Division I team, or maybe you're not able to get onto a Division I team, club sports give you the opportunity to continue playing competitively and possibly traveling for your sport as well. So I mentioned that we're located in Spokane, Washington, and this again is kind of another picture of our campus. And our location is, Spokane's beautiful, as you can see. I'm not from here, but I love that we moved here, and I love that we're living here because there's just so much to do in the area. It's easy to get to and from Canada from here. And like I mentioned, there are lots of internship opportunities. It's a really nice mix of kind of urban and outdoor experiences. We use the common application for admission. Our application deadline is December 1st. We did recently move into a single application deadline, and so we don't do early action or early decision. December 1st is when we encourage students to apply by. It's going to give you priority access to scholarships, to some scholarships. And then we will accept late applications until February 1st. And speaking of scholarships, one of the things that, this is a question we get asked a lot, I think, about scholarship opportunities and funding. And for international students, your main source of funding at Gonzaga is going to be merit-based scholarships. For the 2023-2024 academic year, the maximum merit award went up to $25,000 per year. And then there's a range of award amounts going down from there. And so all students who apply are automatically considered for those. And you receive your admission decision and your merit scholarship award at the same time. And then there are a couple of additional scholarships that international applicants may also be eligible for. And then in addition to scholarships, I also like to share with students that when you're in the US on an F1 visa, one of the privileges of that visa is that it allows you to work on campus. And that can provide a pretty substantial opportunity to earn a pretty substantial amount to contribute towards your education and living expenses, while of course getting valuable work experience. And with that, I'm going to stop talking, and I hope this was helpful, and thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for sharing all the information about Gonzaga with us, Teresa. If you're looking to continue your education after your undergrad, if you're forward thinking, or if you want to study abroad or even do an outdoor excursion, Gonzaga is definitely a school you may want to look into. And Teresa, just because we have a minute or so, you want to tell us something that you feel really makes Gonzaga stand out as a university?
Yeah, I would be happy to share. I think one of the things that we consistently hear from students on our campus, as well as from visitors to our campus, is about the strength of our community. It's something that, so we would love for you to come visit campus. We have on-campus options, virtual visit options, just to get, it's so important kind of wherever you're considering going to school, it's really important, I think, to go to campus and see and feel what that feels like. And so what it comes down to at GU, I think, is community. And we hear this from visitors, we hear this from students, current students, that they get on campus and they feel that kind of instantly. It's a very friendly, welcoming place to be. Our students really want to be there. They want to be involved in the community. They want to be involved on campus. And you're constantly kind of running into people and seeing people that you know with a smile and a wave. And so just, I think community is what I would leave it with.
Thank you so much. There you've had it. It's community. And this wraps up our show today. We've heard from 4 colleges. We've heard from Gonzaga University, ALMA College, Wayne State, and Jackson College. We definitely look forward to seeing you on our next episode. And for that, have a great day.